Okay, this is the next one in the series of work I'm doing on this car. The brakes were making a strange noise, shall we say, and I think what we need to do is take every brake caliper off, clean everything up, clean the pads up, and then put it all back together. First thing you've got to do is take the wheel off. As can be seen here, these have wear sensors on them, so be careful you don't break those. We need to take the sensors out of the pads whilst we're cleaning everything up. We will need to, if I can get the camera to focus, undo the bolts back here, and then we will clean in here, right in here, clean all this. Now what I can see is one of the pins, in fact both of those pins have dislodged. That is not a good thing. So for some reason, actually I'm saying dislodged, I don't think whoever did the brake job put them in properly. So that's something I will rectify once I've taken this off and cleaned it all up. I'll show you when I've taken it off. Well, I wasn't going to film anymore, but there you go. This is the right hand side of the car, the front. As you can see, the pin is not in. Had that come out, that could have been really nasty. Not only damage to the tyre, but the caliper. And you will note, if I can show you, give me a second, I've got to try and get it to focus on what I want it to focus on and not what it wants to focus on. Hopefully you can see, but this edge here of the rotor is shiny. Why? Because everything is not held in place and metal has been rubbing against. In fact, I think it's this. Hang on, I want to try and show you. Because this is all out of whack, this has been rubbing up against the rotor. Good God, I hope there's enough meat left on it. Alright, let's get this one apart and get it sorted. Okay, as this caliper doesn't have a separate cradle holding it, it'll have to be cleaned in situ, and that is because of it don't come out. What I'm going to try and show you, if I can get my camera to do what I want, is that crack down there. That has all got to come out. Clean that out. And I'll clean the surfaces here as best I can. Now do note, you don't have to unbolt this. You just pull the plugs out for the wear sensors. Okay, and well, let's get on and get it cleaned. I've got special little wire brushes I can use in here, and don't forget to do the surface up here as well. So let's get on and give it a good old clean. Okay, I know I mentioned this in the past. This is AT205 or 205 to say correctly. This is a good reseal. Now, what it does is the crank seals, etc., they have those little springs around them, but the rubber gets hard and the spring can't squeeze in anymore. This supples up the springs. Now it can be used, supples up the springs, you idiot. It supples up the rubber. So these can be used in the transmission or in the engine. I've purchased 2 bottles for this Mercedes because it's a big engine and it needs 2 bottles. It's not cheap, this stuff. I can't remember exactly what it was I paid, but I will note in the bottom what I paid for these 2 bottles. I got them on Amazon. You can get them in most car parts stores, but not AutoZone. For some reason they don't sell it. I know that CarQuest does, and also Napa does. So those are the places I know where you can get it. And whilst it may not be an all cure, it really does reduce the amount. And in fact, I have used it a number of times in my cars with great success. And no, they do not sponsor me. I just happen to know this is a good product. However, if anybody watching this is a member of the AT 205205 company and you'd like to sponsor me, I would not object. Okay, here are the parts cleaned up now. I've sandblasted this and sandblasted the pins. I will be putting grease on where the pin will slide across here. I'm not going to put any grease on this end of the pins, but just a little bit on this end. And the reason is I don't want this to be slippery. I want this to bite into the caliper and hold it firm. I'm putting the old pads back in, but I will be greasing just around there on both of the pads. It's a good chance to check the pads while you got them out. I noticed on this one there is a slight scar. That was obviously caused by a stone. It's not a crack. If it was a crack, I would recommend replacing the pads because it meant they got hot and they're likely to fall apart. This one's absolutely perfect. So we're good now. Time to put it all back together with my favourite copper grease. Right, let us see what we can see. Ooh. Would help if I had the parts with me, wouldn't it? Excuse me. Right, sorry about that. You just can't get the staff these days. I told him to sort out everything and get it ready for filming. Did he? No, did he? Fuck. Right. Now, I have the parts now, and a number of other things. Firstly, you need to put the pads in. But, now, I could wait to do this, but I'm not going to. I use a little bit of dielectric grease around there. So that come the next time you want to unplug it, it should come unplugged easily, shouldn't it? Don't go crazy with this stuff. Just a little bit on it. Do you have to do this? No, do what you bloody well like. It's your car. I'm just telling you what I do. Right. Let's get these pads back in. Ah, stupid ass. Nearly forgot, didn't I? My special grease. It's called copper grease. I just put it where the piston will hit it and also along this edge. Careful, don't go fucking crazy. You go crazy, you're going to get it on your rotor or even your disc. And if you do that, you're going to be crying because then your brakes ain't going to work. Now these might not go in easily. Oh, that one did. Okay, let's do the same on this one. Oh, that's a bit too much on the brush. Now I know these have those little shaky pads on the back. Okay, now the pins. As previously mentioned, I'm just going to put a little bit on the end here. Spin that round a bit. And on the other one. Sorry if you're getting flickering. One of my lights seems to want to die. Now, keep these out of the way for the moment. Get this in here. This is the move around the shaker. So, try and get that in there. Okay, now let's see if I can get one of these to go all the way through. Whoops. Okay, oh, come on, there you go. Alright, that's it. Come on, baby. Now, previously, whoever did them didn't get the pins in. Now, I haven't finished with that yet, so don't start screaming. Ah, this one's an awkward one. Yes, I should have remembered that when I took it out. Gotcha. Whoops. Come on. Ah. There we go. Alright. Make sure you get these lined up. Perfect. Then, with your little tappy tap tap machine, excuse my face. Oh, you bugger. It came out of alignment. Can I get the top one in? Can I, hell? Oh, you bugger. Sorry, folks. Let me see if I can get this back to where it should be. Oh, this is so tricky-wicky. Come on. I can move that pad back a little bit. It's because of the springy thing. Hang on, I'm going to shut you off because I'm going to be you're just going to see the back of my head otherwise. Okay, so pin here, you see, is now flush. That's how it should be, not how it was when I took this one apart. The connections are in for the brake wear sensors, and everything is good. We are ready to put this wheel back together. I'm not quite sure why, but they seem to be covered in some kind of if I could just focus on it, this black stuff. I don't know if it's under seal or what it is, body schutz, which is probably what it is. It's probably body schutz. It's a pity it's on the caliper because they're much nicer when they're shiny. However, that's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to make sure these pads and everything work perfectly okay. That is really it, guys. Put the wheel back on, put the lug nuts in, if you want to call them lug nuts. My preference too, hang on a second. As I was about to say, my preference is to put some copper grease on this surface. Don't go crazy. I mean, it's a bit wet at the moment, but don't worry, there's not slathers of it on there. The reason I do it is because the wheels are probably aluminum, and this is steel, and they react, and they can bond. And that's no good, because then when you come to take that wheel off, it's going to be a bloody nightmare. And that'll be on the side of the road when you've got a flat tyre. Also, I put some copper grease on the lug nuts, bolts in this case, because it's a Mercedes, and then torque them up to 95 foot-pounds. That, I believe, is the correct torque setting for this type of wheel and lug nut. Now, that is it. I'm going to do the same on the other 3 wheels. I nearly said 4 wheels then. I'm going to do the same on the other 3 wheels. And then the next video that will come out will probably not be for a few days, purely because I've got to wait for the parts to arrive. Then that will be me. What am I going to do? I'm going to put in a new rotor, a new distributor cap, new spark plugs, come on. Oh, a radiator cap. Oh, that's exciting. And a gearbox mount, rubber ring. I'll be doing that as well. I think that's about all I'm going to be doing. Oh, and I'm going to be doing the Instra mounts. And again, I don't know if that's what they call them on Mercedes, but it is what they call them on Jaguars, which I work on mainly. And that is the rubber mount that holds the air filter in place. Also, hopefully, the customer has got the crank breather filter that goes into the air filter. He said it was coming in, so hopefully he'll bring that to me soon-ish. It's not urgent because I would imagine the parts probably won't be here for 2 or 3 days. It's currently Saturday. He ordered them yesterday, but you know, the order may not have gone through until Monday, which means probably midweek next week. We will get on and get that video done and the work done, of course. And then the customer can have his car back and try and find a decent Mercedes mechanic that has the special tools to service the injection system. This, of course, assumes that the work I'm going to do doesn't cure the problem. It'd be nice if it did, but I can't guarantee it. That's the problem. I can't say hand on heart, yes, that's the problem. Okay, enough prattling. Get out in that garage, go do some shit.